Ever wondered about the complex nature of a Rubik's Cube? This six-sided marvel has bewildered the world for over 40 years. Originally designed by Hungarian professor Erno Rubik as a tool for understanding three-dimensional problems, it soon became a pop culture icon. The Rubik's Cube has left its mark globally, featuring in films, music videos, and sparking a competitive scene worldwide. It also paved the way for myriad versions, from the classic 3x3 to challenging shapes like pyramids and dodecahedrons. Cube notation and algorithms are key to solving Rubik's Cube, a shorthand for series of moves and sequences to position the pieces. Are you ready to explore this vibrant world? Today we'll decode the Rubik's Cube mystery, simplifying the process into easy steps. Brace yourself for an exhilarating dive into the Rubik's Cube's core. As you hold the scrambled Rubik's Cube in your hands, it may seem like a jumble of colors, a chaotic mess. But fear not. There's a method to the madness, a pattern buried within the seeming pandemonium. The first thing you need to know is that the centerpieces of each side are fixed. They are the unyielding pillars around which the rest of the cube moves. These centerpieces, each a different color, determine the color of each side when the cube is solved. So for example, if the centerpiece of one side is white, then that side will be white when the cube is solved. Understanding the fixed nature of these centerpieces is crucial to solving the Rubik's Cube. It might seem like a small detail, but it's the foundation upon which all your cube-solving strategies will be built. Each move you make, each twist you execute, is aimed at manipulating the other pieces around these fixed centers. So, let's take a moment to let that sink in. Look at your cube, find the centerpieces, recognize their immovable nature. Understand that they are your guiding stars in the vast cosmos of the Rubik's Cube. Remember, the Rubik's Cube isn't just about speed, it's about understanding. It's about seeing the order in the chaos. And the first step to that understanding is recognizing that the centerpieces of each side are fixed. They are the constants, the anchors. They determine the color of each side when the cube is solved, and with that knowledge, we are ready to dive deeper into the world of the Rubik's Cube. Now we begin with the first step, creating a cross. As we've understood from our previous discussion, the centerpieces of each side are fixed. So, let's start with one side. By convention, many cubers start with the white side, but feel free to choose any color that you're comfortable with. Once you've chosen your side, your task is to arrange the four edge pieces so they match with the center color. How do you do this? Well, it's a combination of twists and turns, a dance of the fingers that you'll soon get the hang of. But for now, just focus on the goal, aligning the four edge pieces with the centerpiece. And what do you get when you achieve this? You get a plus sign or a cross. Yes, that's right. The first step to solving a Rubik's Cube is creating a simple cross. It's the foundation, the starting point. It's the base upon which the rest of the cube is solved. So let's get started. Choose your side, find the edge pieces, and start turning. This forms a plus sign or a cross. Following the creation of the cross, our next task is to fill in the corners. This is the next step in completing the first layer of the cube. Each corner piece has 3 colors, and your goal is to position these pieces so that they match with the colors on the adjacent sides. To do this, we need to understand how to manipulate the cube to get these corner pieces in the right place. You might need to turn the cube, rotate it, flip it upside down, or even do a combination of these moves. It's a bit like a puzzle, but with practice you'll get the hang of it. Remember, the aim here is not just to fill in the corners, but to ensure that when you do, the colors of the corner pieces match with the colors on the adjacent sides. So, let's start cornering our cube. Your Rubik's Cube is starting to take shape, and you're one step closer to solving it. As we move forward in our Rubik's Cube journey, next, we solve the middle layer. This is a crucial step in our quest to resolve this puzzle. Our aim here is to position the remaining edge pieces accurately. Sounds simple, right? But it may require a bit of maneuvering. Don't worry though, you've already come a long way from where you started, and you're more than capable of handling this. Just remember, the key to solving the Rubik's Cube is not speed, it's strategy. We need to think ahead, plan our moves, and be mindful of the consequences of each twist and turn. So, are you ready to take on the challenge of the middle layer? Let's dive in and tackle it step by step. Remember, it's all about strategy, not speed. The more you practice, the quicker and more efficient you'll become. So let's gear up and master the middle layer. As we continue our journey, we're now standing at the foot of the mountain, the final layer. The final layer is where the real challenge lies. Don't be intimidated. Remember, each twist brings us one step closer to our goal. Our mission now is threefold. First, we aim to create a yellow cross on the top layer. This forms the basis of our final layer. Next, we'll be maneuvering the edge pieces into their rightful positions. This might feel like a game of musical chairs, but stay patient. Finally, we'll position the corner pieces and orient them correctly. This is the last piece of our Rubik's Cube puzzle. It may require a few twists and turns, but with patience, you'll get there. Remember, it's not a race. It's a journey. Every twist, every turn, brings us one step closer to our goal. So, let's get ready and take on the ultimate challenge, the final layer. So, to summarize, here are the steps to solve a Rubik's Cube. First, we create a cross on one side, laying the foundation for our solution. Then, we fill in the corners to complete the first layer, and you've got the base of your cube. Next comes the middle layer, where we position and orient the edge pieces. And finally, we reach the top layer. Here, we form a yellow cross, shuffle the edge pieces into their correct places, and position the corner pieces. Remember, solving a Rubik's Cube isn't about quick fingers. It's about understanding the puzzle and the steps needed to solve it. So take your time, practice, and before you know it, you'll be solving Rubik's Cubes with ease. Now go out there and conquer that cube. Imagine holding a scrambled Rubik's Cube in your hands. It may seem like chaos, but there's a method to the madness. First, you need to understand that the center pieces of each side, those are fixed. They determine the color of each side when the cube is solved. Now we begin with the first step, creating a cross. Choose one side, usually the white, and arrange the 4 edge pieces so they match with the center color. This forms a plus sign, or a cross. From the cross, we move on to filling the corners. This completes the first layer of the cube. The aim is to position the corner pieces so that they match with the colors on the adjacent sides. Next, we solve the middle layer. This involves positioning the remaining edge pieces, which may require a bit of maneuvering. Remember, it's all about strategy, not speed. The final layer is where the real challenge lies. Here, we first aim to create a yellow cross on the top layer. Then we move the edge pieces around to match their correct positions. The last step involves positioning the corner pieces and orienting them correctly. This may require a few twists and turns, but with patience, you'll get there. So to summarize, here are the steps to solve a Rubik's Cube. 1. Create a cross on one side. 1. Fill in the corners to complete the first layer. 1. Solve the middle layer by positioning the edge pieces. 1. Create a yellow cross on the top layer. 1. Position the edge pieces correctly on the top layer. 1. Position and orient the corner pieces on the top layer. Remember, solving a Rubik's Cube isn't about quick fingers. It's about understanding the puzzle and the steps needed to solve it. So, take your time, practice, and before you know it, you'll be solving Rubik's Cubes with ease. Now go out there and conquer that cube.